What is up, YouTube? It is Hootie T here with your long-awaited video. That's right, today we're going to be taking a look at the Varla Eagle 1 V2 electric scooter. And guys, I'm really excited to bring you guys my opinion, but I do want to set a couple of expectations, okay? The number one thing I want you to keep in mind is I'm not a very experienced reviewer when it comes to these things, and I'm not a very experienced rider, okay? I've only owned and rode one other electric scooter than this one. It will pop up on your screen somewhere here. And I had that scooter for a couple of weeks before I purchased the Varla Eagle 1 V2, okay? I just wanted something that went faster, that rode smoother, and that was a bit more premium with some extra features that I think would really be valuable for long-term usage and stuff like that. So without further ado, oh wait, yeah, one more additional expectation, because I did say a few. This is my personal opinion on the Varla Eagle 1 V2, guys. It's kind of going to be like, should you go out and purchase this? Okay, this is going to be a very casual look and a very casual take on the scooter. So now, without further ado, let's dive into it. I did have a couple of things that happened to the scooter over my about a month or so of owning it, so I am going to touch on that. But we're going to just go down a very casual spec list real quick and talk about the scooter, and then we're going to be going on a ride, and I'm going to be giving you guys my general opinion while riding the scooter. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So the first thing I really want to talk about here is going to be the speed of the scooter, because that's going to attract a lot of people to it. According to the website, Varla's website, the scooter is supposed to peak at 40+ miles an hour. Me personally, I haven't seen that speed, and with one good reason, I haven't tried to. I've gotten the scooter to about 35-37 miles an hour, but I haven't attempted to full throttle and just stay there consistently. I don't feel safe enough to do it. Like I said, I'm not a very experienced rider, so I've gotten to about 35-37 miles an hour. And I think the fastest I ever went on the scooter was actually recorded in a video, which was my Taco Bell run. So if you guys want to take a look at that video, I'll have it pop up somewhere on the screen here or something, and you guys can go and check that out. Everything that I reference will be in the description below, even a link to the store page if you guys want to go and check out the scooter for yourself. It has a dual suspension system here, and the suspension's really nice. I'm a little bit off-road right now, but I don't really like to ride off-road. Too many hidden holes and stuff like that I've honestly dipped into with this, and luckily, thanks to the suspension, it did not bottom out. I've ridden off of curbs, and I've ridden through sand, mud. Obviously, we hit potholes and stuff in the road, and once again, suspension saved me from having a really dangerous accident, which was, I didn't find the clip of it, because that actually happened during my last video when I was recording. When I was clipping everything up, I couldn't find it, but there was a really big pothole that I didn't see, and we'll get to the LED here in a few moments. And I kind of hit it, but I was going about, I think, like 30 miles an hour, so I think I kind of flew over it. Luckily, my front wheel didn't go so far in that I was just going to get thrown, because I was going pretty quick, and I'm not exaggerating. That hole was pretty big, and it was pretty deep, so I was really worried. But luckily, I haven't had any falls on the scooter yet. Knock on wood. So let's get back talking about the scooter. So we covered the suspension and the speed. I believe the tires are 9 or 10 inch, and they're tubeless, and they're really good at pretty much all type of terrain, including street. My only concern, I don't know if it's a lack of speed dampening, or if it has something to do with the tires. I have no idea, or pretty much just the structure of the stem. But when you start reaching those higher speeds, like on asphalt, you do get a little bit of wobble. That almost caused me to have a really bad wipeout. Actually, it happened on this road right here, going straight down to the school over here. I was checking my blind spot because I heard a car coming up on me. And when I turned back around, I mean, my handlebars were already wobbling. There's some cases in a few of my videos. If you guys want to go review my channel, you'll see in certain cases, I call it out where my stem and my handlebars have wobbled a little bit. I think since it's able to get to such high speeds, a steering dampener or something like that would have been a really great addition to this scooter. But the tires have been really fantastic. I haven't had any issues with any type of punctures, air leaking out, or nothing like that. They've been flawless. And yes, I have an electric pump, which I'll actually also throw here on the screen, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. It's a very cost-effective little electric pump that you can charge that has even a light on it, and I carry it in my backpack all the time with me. And I've checked the tire pressure and stuff like that a few times since I've had it, and this thing has held air like no other. I haven't had any problem. So tubeless tires, a thumb up. Suspension, thumb up. And the speed so far is a thumb up. One thing I'm going to thumb them down on, definitely with this scooter, is going to be the brakes. And that is one of the most important things, definitely when you have a scooter that reaches such high speeds. It doesn't sound like it's very fast. Definitely if you're used to driving or something like that, or being in a car, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour is not that quick. But when you're on something like this and you can feel the wind and, you know, when you could feel the wind and you could feel the feedback, you know, of the road and everything just right there raw, it's a little scary. And brakes, I feel, are very important. Now let's talk about the problem that I had. So when I first got the scooter, I think a part of this was my mistake. I didn't make sure everything was tight and secure, except like the stem. I checked the tires and all that good kind of stuff, the kickstand. One thing I did not check though was these brakes. This is the rear brake right here, and this is the front brake. This rear brake right here, well, my camera hit the rearview mirror. I'm sorry about that. This rear brake lever, excuse me, was very easy to push down. It didn't have much resistance to it. And when I got into, you know, rides, and I've had the scooter for a while, I did realize that this one was a lot easier than this one. And then during the downtown video, because that video was supposed to be longer than it was, my rear brakes actually failed completely. And when my buddy, my Varla brother, came to look at it, because he's got the same scooter I have, we did come to conclusion, like a big conclusion, that right around here, if you take this little piece right here off, there's a bolt under that. I don't think it was secure enough, because it was leaking pretty bad, and I never realized it. Every time that we pulled this down, you would see a little bubble come right under the bolt, and it would start going down the stem here. So it was leaking brake fluid pretty bad. And once again, guys, I believe a little bit of that was my fault. But at the same time, Varla, when you're sending these out, you know, definitely myself, I was a first-time rider. I didn't really know to, you know, check these things. I guess ignorance on my side. But I don't think a lot of beginners are going to know that either at first. So when you get something like this, they're just going to want to get it out there and ride it. And when they do that, and if you're not securing this bolt right here, and they're just leaking out fluid, and their brakes just fail on them at a very important moment, somebody can get seriously injured, if not killed. So really, guys, if you order one of these out of the box, I can't stress it enough, don't be me. Make sure you pull this down, check your brakes. If you're pulling this and you're seeing fluid come out, there's a little kit you can get on Amazon. I haven't purchased it yet, but it's really good. It's a very easy problem to fix. They made it very easy to flush and add brake fluid on both of these. We went ahead and topped it off, tightened everything up. I haven't had a problem since. And if you're curious, that problem occurred. The right brake completely failed on me right under 100 miles. So that's another reason this video took so long to come out. So I'm glad I waited, because if I reviewed this straight off the bat, that problem wouldn't have happened, and I would have never been able to include it. So we've talked about the brakes, we've talked about the tires, the speed, and the suspension. Let's talk about the battery life and the charging experience. So the battery life and the charging has been quite easy and brainless on this thing. It says on the store page that apparently the scooter is supposed to reach ranges up to 42 miles. I 100% believe that. Your mileage may definitely vary though, depending on your weight, your riding conditions, terrain, and so forth. You may see a little bit less, if not more, out of that. I personally don't hit 30 miles an hour plus consistently. I'm more of 25 to about 30-ish, roughly. I do hit 35s in small segments, kind of like when I'm getting on a main road to get to another point to get off onto the sidewalk or a park trail. And then obviously we're slowing it down to in between 15 to about 25 miles an hour, like on this trail right here where you got people walking and so forth. I get a really good battery out of this thing, guys. I haven't had it die on me at all. I think the lowest I've gotten it to is about 60% and that was during an actual ride out event in downtown Dallas, and it wasn't my recent one either. It was the one before that. And that was from 100% charge, because whenever I go out, or if I know that I'm going out to do something, I charge it the night before. Speaking of the charging experience, you got 2 plugs here at the base of the deck, because your battery is in your deck, and that's how you charge your scooter. I believe the standard purchase with the scooter, you get 1 charger. You could purchase an additional one, United States dollar, USD, I think they're about $69. I personally got both chargers. It came with the bundle that I purchased on Memorial Day, and I always just use 1 charger, and I have one tucked away just in case one goes bad. I don't have any reason to use the dual charging. The dual charging is for if you need to charge faster, because it does charge very slow if you're using just 1 charger. But you know, mileage may vary, guys. I don't have much of a use for fast charging because I'm not using this as like a primary commuter. This is for like recreational use for me. So charging, battery life, range, all that good kind of stuff has been, I'm very satisfied with the experience so far. One thing I also want to talk about, guys, is the lighting. So you do get deck LED lighting, those little arrows pointing forward right there. It'll do a standard like pulsing white LED. It's nice and bright at night. There's like a strobing kind of like flashing RGB, and then there's like just kind of like a solid strobing kind of RGB that you can also get on here. There's no customizable. It's only those 3 or 4 presets that you could cycle through, and honestly, I really don't care. It gets the job done. I'm just glad it's there and that I have it. I love this red and blue version. This Varla Eagle 1 V2 also comes in a red and black. So if the blue is not what you fancy, it comes in a red as well, but those are the only 2 colors it comes in, unfortunately. The lighting in the front, I wish it was a bit wider. My buddy on his scooter, he did get a more wider range light. This is just not enough. It's very bright, it has high lumens, but the problem is it's a very narrow range in front of you, so you really can't see more than about 3 or 4 feet in front of you, which is kind of dangerous to me, definitely if you're going to be riding this at night a lot, because you can't really see any potholes or anything on the road, you know, far enough to where you can react unless you kind of know where you're riding and stuff like that. That's where I pretty much stay in familiar territory for the most part, except for the events that I go on. It does have a folding mechanism, which is really nice. It's very stable. I haven't had any issues with this. Basically, you just remove this pin right here. You unscrew this very convenient top thing here, and then you fold it down, and there's a hook. You literally just pull this and you hook it right onto here, and then I pick it up by the stem, this thing right here, and that's how I carry it up and downstairs and store it in my apartment. It is heavy. The scooter is about 85 pounds or more. It feels so much more to me, definitely when you're carrying this thing up and downstairs on a daily like I do when I go out riding. So Jesus Christ, it's heavy. And for all of you guys out there that are worried about the scooter and this deck isn't big enough, you could purchase a deck extension. You remove this grip tape, and there's one that you can get that's a bit wider. I will leave that right here on screen if you guys are curious what that looks like. There's a little screenshot of the website store page where you can get it, and it comes with some grip tapes, really similar to this. I think it's the exact same one, but a wider print, and you can put it on down there. The reason I don't have it is, 1, I don't need it. Number 2, it would probably be a more comfortable experience, so I can move my feet around a little bit on the deck. I personally don't need it, and it's already hard enough to get this thing in my car to get it down to the events, so that's a pass for me, but I do have one. I want to go back to the brakes real quick because I forgot to cover this. The brake pads are also really easy to maintenance, guys. You just pull this pin here, and the brake pads come right out, and you could just slide some new ones in there, pin it back, boom, you got new brake pads and you're off to the races. So let's talk about the dual motors. That's another thing I really want to, there's a huge selling point to this scooter. It has a dual motor system that you can switch between. You can have the single or the dual. I personally never rode this scooter in a single motor setup. Straight out of the box, I put it straight to dual motor, and I've been away ever since. Like I said, I haven't had an issue with the power. I haven't had any issues with the torque, doing inclines or nothing. In the dual motor, I haven't had any issues with battery either. And I could see that would being the only reason you would want to switch to single motor. Maybe you're doing a more casual ride, like around a little park trail, or you're wanting to save on some battery while you're on your way home from a long ride, so you want to get that the extra life out of it, you would switch to single motor. You can do that on the fly, but Varla recommends that you're at a complete stop while you do so. Another thing that's really cool about this scooter is it comes with a pair of NFC card readers that has, you know, Varla printed on it. I do want to throw this out there that your keys, well, your card reader, will not work on an identical scooter. My buddy has the exact same one once again, but it's red and black, and I tried my card on his, it wouldn't power on, and he tried his on mine and it would not power on. So these are very unique to your scooter. I don't know if you can purchase these separately. Just, you get to hang on to them, don't lose them. I keep one at home and I keep one on my keyring. So let's talk about the experience of getting it powered up. So you got 4 buttons here. You got your power button, your plus and minus, that's to cycle through various settings and options on your screen, and also to change between lighting modes and gears and so forth. And you have your LED, your headlight here. So once you power on, you're going to get an indicator to put your card reader up to it. You go ahead and you put it up to it and it powers right on. The system had, the scooter, I'm sorry, has 5 gears on it, starting from 1 being the slowest. So you don't shift this thing at all. It's fully automatic. You just choose what gear that you want to be in, and then you're off to the races. If you're a beginner, I would say in between 1 to 3. 3 gets a little bit fast, but if you're wanting the full potential of the scooter, I personally keep mine at 5, and I kept it at 5 ever since I've gotten it out of the box. Mainly because I ride on roads and stuff like that, and I just want to have access to that extra acceleration and stuff if I need it. Also, I don't think you're technically supposed to be changing these while you're like moving. I think you have to come to a stop. We're at 80% here. You got your odometer. This is your overall mileage. I have had this reset on me twice. Once during my second or third take trying to record this video, the scooter, I guess, powered off and my mileage reset. We were at 117 miles. So that's very unfortunate. You can also check your trip. So if you hit the power button again, you could see your current mileage on your current ride as well. I'm not going to go through all the other options and stuff like that because I don't want to change anything, but if you hold plus and minus down, I believe, you could cycle and change through various settings. I would find the acceleration one, when you first get your scooter, I'd put it on 3 out of 5. Why would you do that, Scooty T? Mainly because this thing has a pretty good amount of wheel spin and acceleration. Even at 3, when I had it to 5, I was finding that my wheel would kind of spin quite a bit, and I don't want the scooter sliding out from underneath me. No, we definitely don't want that. There is quite the dead zone with the accelerator here. You see I'm pushing it quite a bit, it's not doing anything, and then boom. So I definitely would not want this thing on setting 5. Definitely if you're not used to the dead zone on the throttle. Okay, make sure you know your scooter, guys, before you you really start changing, you know, settings like that and maxing everything out, because this can be quite dangerous. I've actually witnessed my Varla brother busting his nose open while riding one of these, just because he was being a little bit reckless. That's why I wear a full-face helmet. I don't know if you could see me right here in the rearview mirror, but there we go. I always wear a helmet. And on top of that, when you're out on the road and stuff like that, you don't want bugs and stuff flying and getting into your eyes and stuff. It's not pretty. Take the advice from me, guys. I've experienced it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and on a small ride, and we're gonna end this video on a couple of pointers and some things that I would like to see added to maybe in a different version of this scooter, and then we're gonna talk about the price to performance and that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and go on this little ride. I was at 117 miles before it just magically reset on me. That's a shame. And let me, oh my god, hold on just one sec. Oh geez, I had a bug just fly in my helmet. Okay guys, I think the bug is gone. I forgot to close my visor. Oh my god, that's the biggest reason I got a full face helmet, so I wouldn't have to worry about bugs flying into my freaking eyeball. But let's go ahead and take a little bit of a ride and talk more about this Varla Eagle 1 V2. So it does give me a really good riding experience. I love this thing. I haven't done too much off-roading on this scooter, more than like kind of going around in the dirt. I have been in some mud. Not the best experience. Definitely when I have to bring this thing inside my apartment. Cleaning it was easy, but very tedious and not very fun. But back to the scooter. The riding experience on this thing has been really great. It's been a lot smoother than the last scooter that I had. The last scooter that I had didn't have any like suspension or anything like that. So riding over bumps or cracks in the road or the sidewalk, or, you know, maybe running over the side of a rock, or, you know, going off of a curb, which I didn't do on that thing at all. You know, it just wasn't very smooth. Nothing was really smooth on it unless you were on like straight smooth asphalt like I am right now. This was the only time you would have a smooth experience. On this Varla here, I've ridden off of curbs. I've actually ridden off of a few curbs here at the school. We'll do it again here in just a minute. It's a very smooth experience. The suspension is really nice on the scooter. I love the speed. The setting that I have the acceleration on, I don't have it maxed out. I have it on 3 out of 5, and I don't really get on this thing in full throttle anyways. So, you know, like I said earlier in the review, that just creates a lot of tire spin, and not for me at all. So I have it at 3 of 5, and I found that to be a great balance. A lot of the reviews that I watched before I decided to purchase kind of said the same thing, and I could see why. It was kind of like a perfect balance point. The top speed for me, here we go. That was nice. The top speed for me is something that I also like having, but I don't really utilize. If I'm riding around public city roads and stuff like that, I'll get up to like 35, 37 miles an hour, but I'm not hitting no 40. And this thing is advertised to go to 40 plus miles an hour. I believe it. I do. I really believe it. I'm not going to do it though. I don't really feel that safe to hit those kind of speeds on this thing. Definitely with, I don't think this has any steering dampening at all, so definitely, yeah, that's a no-go for me. If you're looking for something that tops off at like high speeds and that's extremely smooth, just by reading up on it, I would probably look at the Wolf GTR or something like that. I wouldn't be looking at the Varla Eagle 1 V2. If you're looking for a more budget-friendly premium type scooter that can get up to a good speed, that has suspension and a good range, I would look at this all day. You know, I got this regular price, I believe, is like $19.99. I bought it on the Memorial Day sale. They had it for, I believe it was $15.69 or something like that. And it was a whole bundle where you get like 2 chargers and some grip tapes and all that good kind of stuff. And I went ahead and bid on it and decided to buy it. And I got it on their official website after after checking another reviewer, and he had a review code. So I got it another $100 off. I got it for like 1,400 bucks. And for the price, oh man, really worth it. And they got it to me within a week. So yeah, it was awesome. But my experience with this thing has been freaking fantastic, aside from the brakes failing. That shouldn't have happened to me in the first 100 miles. There's no way that I should have been out of brake fluid. So Varla, if you do take a look at this video, please make sure stuff like that is a little bit tighter, because, you know, like the cabling and the bolting here around the brakes, because, you know, new riders like me that doesn't know anything about maintenance and stuff on these, that are learning, that are probably purchasing your scooter as the first scooter that they're going to own, that's not really a good look for your brakes to be failing within 100 miles on the odometer. That's not good. Another thing is, on this kind of price point, I really wish this scooter at least had some blinkers. That would have been freaking amazing. There could have been more that they could have done with the deck, I think. Definitely guys, I don't know. I just wish it had blinkers. I'm gonna find a way to put blinkers on this thing eventually. That way I feel a little bit safer on the roads. But at the same time, you know, it's illegal in most places to ride these on the city streets, so it's not really encouraged. So maybe that's what they were looking at when they decided to not put blinkers on this thing. But I mean, you got brake lights, you got a front end LED and everything else. You know, at that point, just put blinkers on the edge of our handlebars and give us like an additional like button or a switch right here. I don't think that would have costed them much of anything to do that, but you didn't get that here. There are scooters out there that do have it. The Varla Eagle 1 V2 is not one of them. 100 miles, I've ridden this thing off-road. I've ridden it on-road. We've the inclines, the hills and stuff like that in garages. You guys have seen the footage if you've watched any of my other videos. This thing climbs with great acceleration and torque, and it has no problem getting up those inclines. I think it's 36 degrees or something like that on the website for specs. I feel like it can do steeper. Definitely if you're a lighter person like me, I don't think you'll have a problem going up steep inclines on the Varla Eagle 1 V2 like at all. And you know, for somebody like me, it's got plenty of deck space. plenty of acceleration. It's got great handling. I've gotten really comfortable at leaning on this scooter and turning around sharp corners, and I haven't had any problems. I absolutely love this scooter. It's really great, you know, for the price. And if anybody's looking to get one of these, I couldn't recommend it more. If you're looking for a first-time scooter, you're not a very experienced rider, and you want something that's a bit more premium, and you're wanting to spend, you know, a little bit more than $1,000, I would say go ahead, save the difference, and this could be a really great first option. It's got great battery life. It's got really good suspension on it, in my opinion. The tubeless tires is a massive plus. There's upgradability because there's a lot of room in the handlebars, and I like the fact the handlebars kind of have this curvature to them, and they're not just sitting like flat and flush. It's a lot easier for me to handle this thing, so I'm absolutely loving it. I recommend it all the way. If you're looking for a scooter, guys, definitely put this in your consideration list. It's worth it, but I also encourage you guys to do what I did. Do research. Ask yourself what you want an electric scooter for, what kind of rides that you want to go out on, and that'll be your determining factor. Let's hit a little bit of off-road right here just for fun. There we go, and back on the sidewalk, nice and smooth. Definitely on the GoPro because of the stabilization. But guys, this is really going to conclude my video. I don't know really what else to say about this thing. I've covered everything that I want to cover. I told you this was going to be a simple video and what I personally think of the scooter, and that's what I think. I think it's a really good value for the money. They could have done a whole lot worse with a really bright headlight, good battery life, dual charging capabilities, suspension, and everything just feels really good. You know, a lot of people were complaining about the dead zone on the accelerator. I don't have an issue with the dead zone on the throttle. I personally like it, mainly because I can't accidentally give it too much, you know. I have a feeling, you know, people out there are going to hate that, and when you get more used to it, you're going to wish that it was a bit more sensitive, but I personally don't need it to be. But like I said, guys, that's just me. I haven't ridden enough electric scooters to really have much to compare it to. But if you guys want a comparison from this scooter to the other one that I actually own, the Segway, comment it below, guys. I'll be more than happy to get my fiance out here, and we'll talk about the experience between the scooters and give you guys my opinion on that too. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe when you're riding out there, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.